Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another journey in the Backyard Sports Cinematic Universe. The baseball season is done. We have left the diamond. The Wombats have had their world tour, and I have been summoned back to the Backyard Sports Universe to now coach a backyard soccer team. So we are back. We did such a good job in the baseball world that they want me to try my hand at another sport, and I have been tasked with leading the Mighty Boots. Based on the results of the YouTube poll, we are going to have green jerseys with black shorts, but we are the Mighty Boots. Very excited about this new journey. This is not a game that I have any experience with. And when I asked my former Wombats players who would like to be on the team, I only had one volunteer, who was, of course, Pablo Sanchez. Pablo is, of course, always willing to play any sport, and he was happy to come along and join up with the Mighty Boots. But because of the fatigue from the World Tour and the Championship, I had to find new players, starting with Angela Del Vecchio, who I decided to add to my team. She seemed very enthusiastic. And of course, with the sibling rule in place, we also had to draft Tony Del Vecchio for the team. These are a lot of players that I'm not as familiar with in my backyard game experience, but excited to get to know them and try to build a team. Wasn't sure where to go next, but I decided to go with Gretchen Hasselhoff because of her speed and control. So she became the fourth member of the Mighty Boots. And solely because I saw a highlight package online for his kicking ability, we drafted Ricky Johnson as well, and he seemed very excited to join the team. But we still needed 3 players. My next choice was Luann Louis, the youngest player of the Backyard Sports Kids, but her skill set seems tailor-made for soccer. So, in the end, it was a pretty easy choice to include her on the team. I did look into a couple players that I ended up not picking. But one player that I did end up picking was Lisa Crockett due to her balanced 3-star ratings across all skills. We just need someone on the team who's going to be able to hold down the fort, do whatever I need them to do, since I am going to be learning on the job. And the last player, after a little bit of debate, we decided to take Jorge Garcia. So that is our 8-player team. We get to play 6 at any one time, and looking at the team photo, I think the green and black combination was definitely a great choice. We have a trophy case. Of course, at the start, there's nothing in it. Draws are on the list, but as I was setting up the standards, of course, put it on hard because I'm an adult. And then we are going to play the longer form of the game. And I went back and forth on a draw and penalty kicks, but ultimately decided to go with penalty kicks because I wasn't entirely sure how playoffs or tournaments would work if we left it as a draw. So I just figured let's make it easy and keep it as penalty kicks. Partially because of, if you watched our previous journey with the Wombats, we had some technical snafus, and I would like to avoid those. Now, looking through the strategy, I had to remind myself of the skill ratings of all the players. Once again, I'm not the most familiar with most of my roster because I'm not the most familiar with backyard soccer. It was not a game that I had as a kid, but I'm very excited to play it now that it has been remastered for modern devices. So I had to click through and I had to actually put some thought into what our main strategy was going to be. Now, I will be rotating in players off the bench, I'm pretty sure, just because with the longer form of the game, I expect that we'll see some fatigue. But one thing I for sure will not be doing is having Pablo Sanchez as the goalie. So Tony Del Vecchio eventually seemed to be my best choice for goalie, and he seems more than willing to take up the mantle. Ricky Johnson was a clear choice for forward, Pablo Sanchez as midfielder, and I eventually settled on Luan Louis and Jorge Garcia being my players to start on the bench. I scrolled through some different looking strategies and some different formations. There are a lot of choices, which I was certainly pleased with, but I did end up sticking with the 2-1-2 after revisiting the players list again just to see what we had. And yeah, overall, it's a fairly balanced team. I think definitely can put some players in different spots. So we went with normal 2, where our forwards are a little more attacking, and we kept the 2-1-2 formation, which I think will give us a solid chance against any opponent. And it looks like our first game will be against the Hornets. We are starting off in the B division. We have 3 divisions that we could potentially play in. We'll start in the B division, hopefully advance to the A division, and hopefully from there go to the Premier division. We also have potential to play in the off-the-wall indoor invitational. Excited to see what that might look like. But overall, we're just excited to get the season started and start playing some soccer. Hope you are excited for this journey. I know I am, and I know that the Mighty Boots are ready to go as well. So can't wait for you to come along for the ride. Thanks, everyone.